I have three types of content that I consume. Number one, it is geopolitics, global news. That's number one. Number two, obviously mixed martial arts and combat sports, which obviously is an inspiration to this whole entire page and channel. And number three, content that is similar to, let's say, No Jumper, hip hop related content, which I gotta tell you, all three of those have one thing in common, which is what? They all stir controversy within a storyline. And there is no better stirrer of a controversy than a judge being removed from an event as it was going on based on the Tai Tuivasa versus Jairzinho fight. They felt that this judge was way too biased for the side of Tai Tuivasa for the obvious reasons that Tai Tuivasa was the home fighter when all of this was going on. So, what exactly does that mean? That means that Australia operates in such a different matter of governance and how they would act in contrast to, let's say, the United States or Great Britain. Now, Andrew Tate once mentioned something along the lines of the leader of the Emirates. He said something to the effect of the benefits of him being a leader is for the simple fact that he can make decisions on the fly without having to go through a judicial process or a parliamentary process that they do in Britain, or an act of Congress, or trying to speak to your local state representatives in the United States. None of that. It goes straight to the point. Hey, do we have a road that needs to be fixed? Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and get it done. The sheikh is going to call the order and it'll be that. Whereas with the United States, and especially out here in California, when you look at the roads, you pay all of these taxes and you wonder what is the benefit that you are getting when the roads are still bumpy. It affects your tires and how you go about with maintaining the longevity of your car. That's another thing to consider. But again, just a long process of trying to get all of this done. You got to go through the municipal, then after that, there's this step of trying to go to your state representative, and then it just goes on and on and on. Just a whole bunch of bureaucratic mess that you have to deal with before getting anything done. Well, I tell you what, Australia, even though they are like the Western world in terms of what I just compared to with Great Britain and America, the one thing that I think they both don't have in common with Australia is how they are able to, I guess, mobilize their people into order. They don't have a high population, number one. Number two, they were able to control everybody within the pandemic. I don't want to mention the name of because you know how that goes, and everybody had advised me never to mention that, but you know what I mean. During those days, 2020, Australia was able to hold down their nation. They were able to control them in ways of vaccination and also in ways of following quarantine orders. So, as a government, it would not be surprising that they were able to act on the fly in that particular expeditious matter. Really, let's think about that. In the United States, it would have never happened, not in Vegas, not in the New York Athletic Commissions, and certainly not in New Jersey, Florida, or everything else that I can mention. It would have never happened. But it happened in Australia. And why is that? For the simple fact that Australia used to be a colony that was ran by British criminals. And somewhere along the lines, they were able to civilize themselves, irregardless of whether you agree with their laws or not, but domesticate themselves in an extremely undomesticated and unforgiving world and vast lands of Australia that is just absolutely diverse, but also deadly in its various forms that only a trained geologist would understand. But don't forget to like and subscribe.